Hi, you guys. Okay, so your workbook is going to be blank. So I figured I would make this just because it's more of a fillable, and you don't have to fill it out as well, you can. It has, I don't even know if you can see that. It's just fill in the blank, and obviously it's been so long, so I figured I'd make this video. Anyways, okay. So your test, we'll just go over how like those answers. I'm going to teach you through the test, okay? So this is the crisis development model. Remember, there's 4 behavior levels that a student will exhibit, and then there's 4 staff attitudes, right? So the first one is anxiety, which is really a change in a student's behavior. So pacing back and forth, fidgeting, and how staff would respond to that is empathetic, non-judgmental approach, and the keyword is being supportive, allowing them time to really work through that emotion. The next one is defensive. So they're beginning to lose rationality. So refusal, pushing things away, and how you would respond to that is being more directive in the behavior. So give them clear, simple directions, right? Number 3 is risk behavior. So that's really them, hitting, kicking, and things like that. And you would respond with a physical intervention, right? And number 4 is the tension reduction. So after they exhibit all those behaviors, you can kind of see them crying. They're more quiet. They apologize. And how you would respond is that therapeutic rapport, like talking it out with them. So that may not be on the test. And then number 2, what is the value of learning the 4 levels and corresponding staff attitude? So I think that with those staff attitudes, I think it's, it communicates throughout this whole entire, what do I want to call this, course, that, it helps avert crisis. So let's say that someone's super anxious. Are you going to come at them more aggressive with the way you're saying things? No, you're going to communicate very softly. The cadence, remember we talked about that in October. How you're standing. So it averts crisis. It can help you intervene early and appropriately. And it helps you from overreacting. So if you know they're, starting to get defensive, are you automatically going to call call PBIS to have a physical intervention? No. Sometimes giving them, direct statements can help calm them down, really. Okay. The next part, you can pause this at any time if you need extra time rating, is 58. Is the kites, okay, of the verbal escalation continuum, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps really. So they're going to start questioning you. Why do I have to do that work? Refusal, release, intimidation, and tension reduction. This is just super important when they're in those behaviors. This is how it all occurs. Does it go in questioning, then refusal and release? No, it can bounce all over. And even if a student gets to tension reduction, sometimes we have, okay, they're good. We leave the classroom. All of a sudden, it's right back at release and intimidation, right? So it kind of goes all over the kite. Describe 3 reasons you should use a supportive stance. I won't go to that one. It really communicates respect to them. So if you're standing like this, it's kind of threatening to them, right? So if you more so stand like this and you're more relaxed, it communicates respect to them. It's non-threatening and it's for your safety, right? So if you're standing like this and they come head on, you're going to fall over. But if you stand on your side, you put your weight on your back leg. Therefore, you have more strength to hold yourself. And it's safer, right? The decision-making matrix, the thing Mara and I love teaching the most. It's very hard to articulate it. But the two ways the decision matrix model is used to consider risk is the likelihood of it happening and the severity when it does happen. Okay. What are the values that underpin this course? 7. The care, welfare, safety, and security of everybody involved. And then something called post-vention we've gone over. The final behavior level in the crisis situation is tension reduction, and then post-vention is how you really deal with that after the fact. And a lot of people, when they're taking the test, answer with staff only because per our population, we really only discuss with staff. But in a general sense, it's staff and the individual. So let's say you're like in a gen ed building and a child or high school or whatever gets into, a certain behavior with somebody else or starts being aggressive to you, you would always talk it out with that child. But I think the nature of our building and the students that we have, that doesn't necessarily happen, right? So it's staff and the individual in crisis. So I hope this video helped. I made it as quick as possible. Delete this email once you get it. Don't tell CPI. If you have any questions, just let me know. And after you take the test, just put it in my mailbox, okay? Thanks, guys.